Hello everyone, this is the Abundance Oracle for the second time today, but some people had questions, so I wanted to explain to you. Please subscribe first though. This is the inlet. Can you see the inlet here? I think I can get a picture of the big, oh maybe not, let me see. There's a big, huge bird's nest. Nope, I can't get it in there. It's starting to get a little foggier here. So anyway, people had questions on what I mean by inflated dollars and why that would help. Sorry, I'm just getting inside the car. And why that would help with real estate. Well, inflated dollars are dollars you have over time that are worth less money, and therefore everything that you buy, you have to turn over more of your goods. So something that might have cost $50 over time might end up costing you $100 to get the same thing. Why does that make a difference? Because for your rents, your landlords, all the landlords will be raising prices because they have the principal insurance. The principal might be staying the same for their mortgage. However, taxes, insurance, the cost of repairs, the cost of any improvements, everything is going up, and not a little bit like this crazy inflation number they tell you, oh, you know, it's only 3%, 6%, whatever. It is much more significant than that. And I think I've told you in previous videos, the last administration took out gas prices and took out housing prices. Housing prices, I think, was 2 or 3 presidents ago. And then food prices are all out of the CPI, Consumer Price Index is what that means. And they tout that number, the Consumer Price Index, to try and convince the public, oh, we're doing a better job because the overall prices have gone down. Well, when you eliminate the most expensive part of the Consumer Price Index, which is housing, food, and gas, of course they go down. But do they ever explain to the public, well, we're going to eliminate those things out of the calculations for the CPI? No. And then when that number still is bad, they convert over to PPE stats. So don't be fooled. The public has been so bamboozled with finance things. It's just really horrendous. And the financial industry has made a lot of money out of their annual fees to manage your money sitting in a mutual fund, index funds sometimes, depending upon how they charge. So anyway, your cost of goods is going to be going up. And that's already baked into the system. Now, Wednesday, Powell came out and he said, no, we're not lowering the interest rates. We're going to keep it where it is now. But I'm going to tell you, I'll be polite as I try and describe this. Darned if you do, darned if you don't. If they lower the interest rates, people will have a little teensy bit more money and they'll go out and spend it. You won't see people, because of our nature, very smaller percentage is going to be taking that increase and paying off their debt of their cars, of their credit cards, of their school loans. They're going to feel like, oh good, we're finally have enough money now to be able to go back out to dinner again, or to buy little Susie some more new shoes for school coming up or things like that. So prices going down, interest rates going down, it's not going to necessarily help the average U.S. citizen. Interest rates going up means people are going to have less money. There's going to be more car repossessions because people aren't paying. There's going to be more house foreclosures, and I can see the numbers coming. There's a lot of house foreclosures already coming down the road. So I think we're at an inflection point because we've massively run our dollar dry, basically. We're down to the end of the usefulness of the, what they used to call it the US dollar. It's actually now a federal note. The US used to back their dollars, our dollars, by gold. That no longer happens. Now the largest families, I don't say the largest, the wealthiest families started out the Federal Reserve to make money, loaning the federal notes to the government. And there is no limit on the federal notes that they print up. And the more they print up, the more money the public has. And you have seen how fabulous lifestyle has been. People think that's normal, but the past 30, 40 years has been extremely prosperous. So let me get back to my original comment is you're going to be paying much more for the same things in the future than you are paying currently. And one of the big things we're going to need to do is get rid of the Fed, but that's very controversial, so I won't talk about that too much. So as the cost of goods goes up, so does rentals. And if you're a real estate person, your biggest expense out of everything is the money you borrowed. So if your money is fixed and the value of your dwelling or apartment complex or whatever keeps going up, 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 you are in excellent, excellent condition. As long as you were in good condition in the beginning, you're going to be in excellent condition at the end. Until we get to a point where no one can afford your rents anymore, and you're going to have to start lowering them or defaulting on mortgages, just like a lot of the commercial office space people, owners are defaulting or are ready to default. So it's going to be very messy. There are opportunities out there, and I'll keep trying to discuss it. For the regular people, which, the 70, 80% of the country, primarily pay off your debt. You may not want to pay off your mortgage if it's a fixed mortgage. And then save some money. You're going to want to save some cash, because if they attack, like what happened in Spain, if they attack our electrical grid, you're going to have cash in your pocket every day to be able to well, you're not going to be filling up your gas tank because the gas stations can't pump the gas out of the ground to get into your car. So I always say I tell my kids never drive with less than a half a tank of gas, because you want to be always able to make it to the next location. And food. If in Spain, you walked into the grocery store and they couldn't process credit cards. There was no electricity, no processing credit cards. So you had to pay in cash. And let's say you had $50 bills. You collected $50 bills over the time instead of 50, 20, 10s and ones, maybe change. You could give them exact change. But if you had only a $50 bill and you really needed what was in your cart, you're giving them the $50 bills. They say no change. They don't have any way to make change because not enough people pay in cash. All right. Keep on top of things. Y'all who have your bills paid off, if you know anything about real estate and you have some real estate, that's not a bad way to go. However, gold and silver, especially if you don't have any junk silver, you might want to get a couple rolls of dimes to just put into your safe or your someplace. I don't know, dig a hole in the ground, wherever you put your valuables. And remember, the price of goods is going to be going up. So if you're not organized and you don't have a generator, or you don't have a little bit of food backed up, then you might want to consider that. And then after that, maybe some gold coins. And that nice thing about gold coins is you can still pay cash for those and put them in your safe. And when you die, what's in your safe is between your children. All right. Love you tons. Talk to you later. Please subscribe if you can. Love ya. Bye.